Yo, yo, what up? It's Coach D here with the Coach D podcast. So today we are going to talk about 8 things that you can do to create enormously high testosterone levels naturally. Now, I say enormously high because, and really one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, and I post about this on social media constantly, is because a lot of coaches and a lot of doctors today are putting dudes on fucking TRT, okay? Right out the gate. Oh, you don't feel good? You need some testosterone. They test your test levels, right? And your test levels are like sub 300, like almost the same level as a female, right? I'm going to tell you why that's happening in a second, but this shit pisses me off, okay? You don't need a fucking drug, okay? Just so you know what TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, really is, it's really fucking steroids prescribed by your fucking doctor, okay? It's fucking steroids. Now, whenever you take fucking steroids, for one, all your work and all the stuff you put in don't even fucking matter, okay? You're chemically enhanced. That ain't even real, right? You get off that shit, you lose all your gains instantly, right? Within a matter of months, right? On top of that, we don't really know the long-term effects, but we have heard stories about people having heart attacks and getting prostate cancer and all kinds of things being accelerated when they are on drugs, because you're not designed to be taking synthetic forms of drugs on a daily basis, okay? And this pisses me off because I see this a lot from people who have coaches and who have trainers, who their coach will put them on fucking TRT right out of the gate. Right? Oh, man, to get in shape, you got to get on fucking testosterone, right? Right out of the fucking gate, right? No, motherfuckers. You don't need motherfucking testosterone. You need to change your fucking lifestyle so that way your body will start to produce it naturally. Because if you're treating your body right, your testosterone levels will be through the roof. How do I know? Because I have a fuck ton of clients who are 55, 60 plus years old and have ridiculously high testosterone levels. Okay. I got one guy who's 65 and his levels are almost at 1200. Okay. Which is way higher than you're going to be getting when you take some fucking TRT. And it's naturally. And it's because he does all the things that I'm about to tell you right now. Okay. And it's really, really simple. It's just simple changes you need to make in your lifestyle and disciplines that you need to implement in your lifestyle so that way your body can produce testosterone like it should be. Okay. You should have high ass levels. The men today have like half what the men 50 years ago used to have. Why? Well, many reasons, but it's primarily due to your shitty ass lifestyle. Okay. We're going to go over a couple of those things and you'll understand why in a second, but just know you don't need to get on fucking roids in order for you to get your testosterone levels up. You don't need to get on roids to get results, okay? I'm anti-fucking drug, all right? This is some bullshit. This is why I'm making this video. So listen up, fellas, because I'm about to drop some facts on ya. Okay, so first off, when it comes to you having high testosterone levels, okay, you got to understand this, okay? Your diet directly affects every single hormone in your body. Okay, so when you're eating like an emotional little bitch, okay, cakes and sugar and ho-hos and fast food and pasta and bread and crackers and cereal and dessert and ice cream and all this shit, this stuff destroys your testosterone levels naturally. Destroys. Okay, so if you eat this shit, which I know you do, which is why you're fucking fat, which is why your test levels are in the fucking gutter, okay, it's because you're eating this garbage every day, destroys your testosterone levels, okay? And I'm not really going to go down this rabbit hole, right? But just know, everything that you're experiencing with these foods and all these negative side effects you're having from it, from your test levels being low to obesity, it's by design, okay? We're not going to go down that rabbit hole here on this podcast, but if you follow me on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So first off, you got to stop eating like a little bitch. Okay, you're eating like an emotional little bitch. You're stressed out because of work all day. You're not preparing and cooking your own food, right? And then you're going to fast food, or you're eating emotionally, or on top of that, you're drinking emotionally because you're all stressed out and shit because of work and everything, right? Stop being a little bitch. Okay, stop being a little bitch. All right, eat like a fucking man, which is basically mainly meat. Okay, eat like a goddamn man, like a caveman. All right. So our ancestors had way higher testosterone levels than we do today, okay? And it's because they did a lot of this stuff that I'm about to tell you naturally, right? But the step number one, because none of this other stuff is going to work until you stop eating garbage. Okay. None of these other tips are going to work unless you stop eating garbage. So stop being a little bitch, man up, discipline yourself around food. All right. So that's step one. Step two, you got to get your vitamin D. Okay. Now, if you look at like our ancestors, right? And even just like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, we primarily worked outside all day. Right. So we got tons of sunshine. Like we were hunting, animals and shit. We were farming. We were doing all this stuff, right? We were in the sun all day long. And what happens is when your D levels are high, right? Your test levels are high. Now, today we sit in offices, right? All day long, right? We are indoors all day long, right? We don't get any damn sun. Right, you're indoors all day long when the sun is the sun is at the point where you need to be absorbing it the most on your skin so you can produce high levels of vitamin D, right? And you aren't getting that, so your D levels are in the shitter, right? So I guarantee you guys that go get your testosterone tested, right, and you see your levels are low, go test your D levels as well too. I can almost guarantee you in almost 100% of your cases, you're going to have also shitty ass vitamin D levels as well too. Okay. Now, remember my client that I was telling you that has the levels that are almost 1200 when he's freaking 65 years old, right? It's because he walks on the beach for like an hour a day. Okay. He gets a ton of fucking sunshine. His D levels are through the roof. Okay. Through the roof. He just got him tested the other day. Okay. D levels are through the roof. Testosterone through the roof. His testosterone levels were so high. His doctor was like, are you taking some testosterone replacement therapy that I'm not aware of? His doctor's asking him this. He's like, no, I just eat healthy, get some sunshine every day, take all my, stuff that my trainer tells me to take. Boom. Right? It's really that simple, guys. Okay. So anyways, get your D. Okay. D is important. Okay. It can boost your test levels by up to 69%. Studies prove this. Okay. By up to 69%. Just that one tip alone. Okay. So get your D. You need to get out in the sun. And I recommend getting shirtless, getting some shorts, get it on as much skin as you can, right? Lay out for like 20 minutes minimum every single day, front and back. Get your body absorbing the sun because that is what produces vitamin D. Now, we are about to come into winter, right? Maybe you live in areas throughout the year that don't get much sun because it's super cloudy and stuff, right? Supplement with vitamin D3. When you take this, you need to be taking massive doses of D3. I'm talking 20,000 IUs, 50,000 IUs, right? I have seen studies of guys that have literally just taken vitamin D3 up to 50,000 IUs and literally doubled their testosterone levels. Literally went from 500 to 1,000 just from supplementing D3 alone. But on top of that, they were eating clean and stuff like that too. They're in good shape and everything on top of that too. But they happen to have lower D levels because of whatever reason. They started focusing on building it, took D3, doubled it. Right. So that's another option, especially as we're coming up to these winter months. Right. So make sure you get in your D and get it daily. Okay. I like to actually work out outside and I like to actually take my shirt off. So that way, when I'm working out outside, I'm doing some sprints, some stairs or whatever, I'm actually absorbing the sun and getting some D at the same time. So that's one of the things that I do. But I also lay out on top of that too. So that way I can get more D as much as possible because I want my test levels being as high as possible because I'm natty. Right? I don't fuck around with these drugs, right? So I want my D levels going, and I can feel it. Like when you start to become really, really in tune with your body and you're eating really, really clean and you're really taking care of yourself, you'll really start to feel whenever you have something off, right? And for me, I know right away when my D levels are starting to come down, I can feel it. I recognize it right away. And I'm like, I need some sunshine. So, and I immediately go get some sun and boom, I'm right back to normal, right? So, all right, so that is number 2. So number 3, okay? Number 3 thing that you're going to do to boost your testosterone levels, which you have to have, otherwise this is your body's just not going to produce it, okay? High protein diet, high fat diet, okay? These are vital for your testosterone levels, okay? You have to be consuming a lot of protein every single day and a lot of fats every single day. Forget every fucking thing you have ever heard about fats being the villain. Okay, there are some bad ones like seed oils and things like that. But for the most part, fats, especially coming from animals, are healthy. They're good for you. You need fats in your diet. Okay, so for you men that are trying to eat clean and take care of yourselves, you need a minimum of like 200 plus grams of protein a day, minimum of 100 grams of fat every day. You should be tracking your macros anyway, by the way. That's the secret to getting shredded, by the way. So, but you need to make sure your protein intake and your fat intake is high, coming from animal sources mainly. Okay, no fucking protein shakes. Protein shakes are fucking garbage. So throw that shit away. Okay, so animal sources of protein. Okay, and you'll get the majority of your fats from that, especially if you're eating like whole eggs, chicken thighs, fatty fish, ground meats, and things like that. You're going to get the majority of your fats from that. You may not even have to add any to your diet, right? Because you're going to be getting so many from your actual animal sources. Okay, so that's step number 3. Step number 4, you got to get your asses in the gym and lift heavy. Okay, now some of you work out, but you lift like little bitches. Okay, let's be real. Okay, you lifting pussy weights. Okay, I got girls stronger than you. All right. You need to lift heavy. Okay. Why? Because when you lift heavy, it triggers your body, forces your body to actually produce testosterone. Right. And you have to think of weightlifting. This is the same mindset you need to have when it comes to trying to build muscle. Okay. In order for your body to build muscle, it's a survival mechanism. Okay. So what that means is you basically need to train your body so hard and push it so hard that it feels like it's going to fucking die. And then if it doesn't get bigger and stronger, it's going to die. So muscle growth is a survival response, okay, as is fat burning, right? So you need to lift, right, and basically put your muscles through a near-death experience is what I'm saying. If you do that on a regular basis via progressively overloading, right, which I'm going to have to put in a completely different video, but just Google that shit for now. Okay. Progressive overload, right? Consistently weekly. That is going to force your body to build muscle. Okay. And that is also going to force your body to produce more testosterone and growth hormone. Okay. Which are very, very, very important. And these are things that you want because they're going to make you more of a man. Okay. So lift heavy is number 4. Number 5, you need to lose body fat. Okay. Now I have said this in so many episodes. I say this on a regular basis to my clients and on social media. Okay. This is what I believe. If you ain't got abs, you're fat. Okay. That's just a fact. Okay. You all have a 6-pack. If you cannot see your 6-pack, that means you have high body fat levels, AKA you're a fat ass. Okay. Which means you're weak. Yep. Ooh, did that sting? It should. I hope it fucking stings because you're fucking weak. Okay. If you don't have abs, you're fucking weak. Mentally and emotionally weak, undisciplined around food, weak. Okay. You're supposed to be a man. You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be fit. You're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be masculine. Okay. Having bitch titties and a belly ain't fucking masculine. Okay. That means you're weak. All right. Doesn't matter how fucking strong you are in the gym if you look like shit with your shirt off. Okay. Discipline yourself with fucking food. Okay. You need to lose body fat. Now, when it comes to losing body fat, I've already done an episode on that. So just scroll down the list and look at it. It's like episode number 2. Okay. I'm teaching you exactly how to lose body fat. Okay. But to simply put it in a real quick sentence, you have to create a calorie deficit every day. It's 2 things. All it is 2 things. Limit your calories every day, eating basically meat, right? And then burn calories every day, getting your ass in the gym. Okay. You do those 2 things consistently, right? So you're tracking your macros to create the deficit, right? Which I talk about in episode 2. I'm not going to go into it right now. You're going to burn body fat, right? Because when you have high body fat, just here's why. This is important, guys. When you have high body fat, not only do you have titties and you're looking like an emotionally weak little bitch to everybody, okay? Nobody respects fat people, period, okay? Statistics have even proven that fat people earn almost half as much as fit people do. Okay. So those of you guys that are working hard, trying to be the provider, right? And you're fat, you're not making as much money as you should be because you're fat. Okay. So if you really want to make more money, get your asses fit. Okay. So, but anyway, you need to lose fat because, and here's why, it makes you produce more estrogen. Okay. Hello, bitch titties. See where I'm going with this? Okay. So body fat is not your friend. Okay. Now, though it would keep you alive if you were starving on an island for a little while, right? It ain't helping you in your life today. Okay. Now, if you're a single man, I've mentioned this in many episodes before. Single men, the secret to getting ladies, get a fucking 6-pack. Okay. Get a fucking six pack. They're going to come to you. You're going to have too many options. You're not even going to have time for them. Okay. I guarantee you. Okay. So if you're a married man and you ain't getting laid, this is one of the reasons. Okay. This is one of the reasons you ain't getting laid. It's because you're a fat slob. Because most of you gain 30 pounds after marriage. Okay. It's fat slob and you're disgusted. Right. I literally have women say, my husband is so fat, I don't want to sleep with him anymore. No joke. No joke. I have clients that say that. Like, my husband's so fat, I don't want to sleep with him. It's disgusting. Right? They find you disgusting. Okay. So if you want to get laid more often, right? On top of make more money, feel good about yourself, have more confidence, right? Get a fucking six pack. Okay. Your wife ain't gonna be able to keep her hands off you. All right. So, that's the next one. Okay. So that was number 5. Okay. Lose body fat. The next one we're going to be talking about is getting your micros. Okay. So we talked about macros briefly for a second ago, right? So macros are macronutrients. This is your protein, your carbs, and your fats, right? You eat a specific amount of these to hit the calorie goals that you have, whether that's muscle gain or fat loss. Most of you guys need to focus on a deficit so that way you can lose body fat, right? Because if you ain't got abs, you're fat, like I said earlier, right? Then there's micronutrients, okay? Micronutrients are basically your vitamins and minerals, okay? They're basically like the raw materials that your body needs in order to function optimally. Okay, to have vibrant health, to be able to produce testosterone, to be able to have energy, to be able to do all the basic bodily functions that you need, you got to have your micros. Okay, so the micros that are super, super important for your testosterone, okay, is one we already talked about, which was vitamin D. Okay, so you should be either getting sunshine or supplementing, right? Every single day, get that shit up. Okay. So when you lay out in the sun, by the way, I didn't mention this. When you lay out in the sun for like 20 minutes or more, right, your body's going to produce like 20,000 plus IUs of D3 in your body, like, okay, and it's coming from your body, manufactured by you, which is the best source of it, right? So get sun as often as you can. Okay, you're not going to get fucking skin cancer. That's a whole nother rabbit hole right there. Okay, that's all bullshit too. Okay, so anyway. So get your micros, okay? So your D, we already talked about that one. The next one that's a super, super important type of fat is your omega-3s, okay? This is also vital for your mental health, all right? But omega-3s are super, super, super important. You get these primarily from fish oil or like fish, right? But I recommend getting it from fish oil because it's easier and you can get a much bigger dose much faster. So for this one, I recommend taking like 10 to 20,000 milligrams of fish oil per day. Okay, so that means if you're taking, the capsules, which I recommend, you're going to be talking about like 10 or 20 pills a day. Yes, I said that many. Yes, because you need it. Because motherfuckers are deficient. Okay, so if you're feeling off, you're feeling like you have like a little bit of like anxiety and depression that's actually coming from your garbage food diet, right? But it's also coming from omega-3 deficiency, okay, because of your garbage food diet, right? So when you eat these omega-3s, these are vital for testosterone too. Okay, so you bump these up, your test levels are coming up. Okay. The next thing is magnesium and zinc. Now, you've heard of these before, of doing these to bump up testosterone, but most of these supplements that you find on the shelves, like 95%, are synthetic shit. Okay. So most of the shit you're buying at the store, or you have bought, or you're thinking about getting, it's garbage. Okay. There's only a couple brands that I recommend. The main one that I love the most, and it's been the one that I love the most for years, is Mega Food. Okay, that's the brand, Mega Food. There's a magnesium that comes in a tablet form, not the capsule form, the tablet form. Take 4+ of those a night. Okay, and then in the same brand for the zinc. Zinc, the Mega Food brand, take 2 or 3 of those a night. Okay, so you do all those with the micros, right? This is going to give your body the raw materials that it needs on top of like your protein and your fats. You give your body all the raw materials that it needs to produce testosterone. You're going to feel more like a man. Okay, because your test levels are going to be through the roof, right? And one of the things that you're going to notice when your test levels go low is you're going to feel basically like a little bitch, right? You're going to be tired all the time. You're not going to have any motivation. You're not going to have any ambition, right? You just feel like a bitch. And another little red flag that your test levels are low too, and also that you may have some heart issues setting in because of your garbage fucking diet, is your morning wood. Okay, if you don't wake up every day with a fucking raging morning wood that could fucking break walls, your test levels are low. Okay, but it's also a sign that you may have heart issues. So, and the heart issues are not fucking genetic. Okay. Fuck these motherfuckers that have ever told you that. It's not fucking genetic. It's 100% lifestyle. Okay. 100% lifestyle because of the garbage food that you're eating, which is why I told you, number one, you got to get rid of that shit. Right. Because if you're dumb enough to go get on TRT and then continue eating the way that you are that ruined your testosterone levels, you're going to end up with an accelerated heart attack because that's the foods that cause heart attacks too. Right. So look at your wood. Okay. If you don't have strong wood, you got low T. Okay. And maybe some heart rate issues too. But either way, clean up your diet. You'll be able to reverse that. No problem. Okay. Now, so those are the micros that you need to have, right? The next thing, which is super important, and this is an area that I will admit I am not the greatest at. Okay. But the days that I do great in this, it's a night and day difference. And that is sleep. Okay. You need an adequate amount of sleep every night. Now, keep this in mind. Most of you have terrible sleep because you have terrible diets. Yes, your diet causes terrible sleep too, especially when you're eating dessert at nighttime. Okay, because you're fucking up your blood sugars, which means you're never going to slip into your deep REM sleep, and which means you're going to wake up groggy as hell. Okay, and never actually getting a full night's sleep. Now, the magnesium and the zinc, they will actually help you sleep better. So will the omega-3s and the vitamin D. All this stuff will help you sleep better, but you have to clean up your diet. If you're following all the other rules, then you're naturally going to sleep better. But sleep is very, very important. So if you can get 8 hours a day, get 8 hours a day. Okay. And I know it's very, very difficult. I don't get that much because I typically, my mind is always trying to move my life to the next level. So for me, shutting my mind down so I can actually go to sleep, because I'm always like on my phone, trying to hustle, trying to do stuff, trying to move my life forward, so that way I can get to that next level. Right. So me shutting my brain off is it's a very difficult task for me. So what I've recently started doing, and some of you guys may need to do this too, is I actually take 10 milligrams of melatonin about an hour before I'd like to go to bed lately. And that's been helping me get to sleep sooner because it makes you tired. CBD also helps with that too. But yeah, you got to get your sleep. So the more sleep that you get, so like on the days that I actually do get about 8 hours, dude, like it's hands down world of difference, which is why I've been trying to improve my sleep so that way I can get more, so that way I can be even more of a badass performer, right? So sleep is important. And then here's one that a lot of people don't talk about, even a lot of experts in the industry don't talk about this. And this is something that I recently learned over the past 2 years. And I'm going to do a completely separate episode on this later on in the future. But this is something that needs to be discussed that a lot of you guys are not dealing with. And that is dealing with your stress and your emotional shit. Okay. That's number 8. Deal with your shit. Okay. So a lot of you guys are stressed out. Okay. Maybe it's the wife, maybe it's the kids, maybe it's work, maybe it's all the above, right? You got to learn to cope differently. Right now, you're coping by drinking, eating bullshit, right? Tuning out and watching TV and Netflix and entertaining after work. You're doing shit that's detrimental to you, right? And basically, the majority of you are actually eating or consuming something to help you cope with your shit, which is fucking you, okay? So you got to learn to deal with your stress in a much more effective way that is going to benefit your life and not ruin your life, okay? And now when I say ruin your life, if you don't learn how to deal with your stress and your emotions properly, not only are you going to continue to comfort, eat, and drink, right? And ruin your body internally and everything about you, right? You're also going to ruin your relationships, right? And I have a second podcast, in case you guys didn't know this. I have a second podcast that I do with my wife, which is actually a relationship podcast. And because we've been, through it all, right? So now, since we are like amazing, we try and teach everybody else how we got there and what we're doing. And one of those key things that you have to do in order for your relationship to thrive, but also so you're a happier man and you don't have as much stress, you got to deal with your shit, right? You got to deal with your shit. Not drink it away, not eat it away, like actually deal with it. So how do you deal with it? Okay. It's real simple. One phrase. You got to feel it to heal it. Okay. So how do we feel it? Basically what this means is, and you have to do this shit in private. Okay. Listen to me, man. You got to do this shit in private. Okay. Because this is something that you never want to show your women and you don't want to show this to your kids. So you have to do this in private around other people, so that way you can release these emotions, right? Because the whole way that you deal and you cope with these emotions is you just have to release them, right? They're all boiled up. You got stuff going on from your childhood you've been suppressing your entire life that you've never fucking dealt with, right? And that's what causes you to be overwhelmed with normal everyday life's challenges and stresses, right? This is what leads to you getting triggered. This is what leads to you like popping off at your wife whenever she tries to correct you on something, right? It's because she's triggering old wounds, right? Didn't know that, did you? Yeah, I'm about to teach you some shit. So you got to deal with your emotions a smart way. So there's 3 main ways that I'm going to tell you how to actually cope with your shit. Okay. Number 1, which you should be doing every day anyway, is fucking work out. Okay. If you're having a really stressful day, if you're having like you have to release those energies. You have to release those emotions, right? And then when you use your workouts, it triggers what's known as endorphins. Okay. Endorphins are short for endogenous morphine. Yes, you heard me correctly. Morphine. Your body produces morphine when you work out. Okay. So this is why it's important and why you always feel good after a workout, right? So let's say you're having a really, really stressful day, right, at work, right? It's actually best to do this first thing in the morning so you get your endorphins first thing in the day and you handle your day with much less stress because you've already got it in your blood, right? But let's just say you had a really rough day at work, okay, stressed out, something happened, whatever. You're really, really angry. You're really, really frustrated. What you should do is before you go home, or actually as soon as you get home, right, lace up your shoes, walk outside, and go do like 20 sprints. Okay. Sprint up, walk back, sprint up, walk back, sprint up, walk back. Okay. Do that 20 times. Okay. And what's going to happen is not only are you burning calories and getting your workout in so you can get sexier and get those fucking abs, right? Also, what's going to happen is you're going to trigger those endorphins, right? So you're going to feel good. So you're not going to be popping off at the wife or the kids whenever you go inside, right? You're going to be much more calm, much more level-headed. And you're often going to find that when you work out, you're actually going to get ideas to solve your problems that you may be going through. Okay. So that's one way of dealing with your stress, coping with your emotions. Okay. Now here's a deeper level. Okay. And they're very, very simple things to do, but these are directly to deal with that emotion that you're going through at the moment. Okay. Now, like I was telling you a second ago, we all have things that we've been suppressing our entire lives, right? As men, we've been taught since we were real small not to show emotion, not to cry, not to do this, not to do that. So we've been suppressing all of our hurts, all of our pains, all of our problems, all of our shit our entire fucking lives. Okay. Me included. Okay. I lived over 40 years with all kinds of shit from my childhood, thousands and thousands of layers of just pain and hurt and problems and things and bad decisions I had made in life because of those emotions, right? Which were still always boiling right underneath the surface. And then boom, I'd get triggered every single day, multiple times a day from people all the time, right? Lose my shit on everybody. Okay. So what I'm going to teach you is my 2 techniques on how I actually healed from all my shit. Okay. Now I'm just a dick just because I want to be, not because I have to be. I say things intentionally now to trigger an emotion within you so that way you get your fucking shit together and you become the most exceptional version of you. Okay? Right? I say things on purpose to trigger things within you right now, right? But I'm actually one of the happiest motherfuckers you ever met in your life. Okay? But you're not really going to notice it on this podcast because Coach D is different than Social D, right? So, but anyway, here's 2 techniques that I use to heal. Okay. Now, like I was saying a minute ago, I had thousands of layers of shit from a lifetime of hurts and pains and problems and shit, right? You do too. Okay. You do too. You have thousands of layers. So this is basically how you heal from your shit. And this is going to improve your relationships too. This is literally why my relationship is so killer with my wife. Okay. Because I dealt with my shit. Okay. Because you can't show up for your woman the way that you need to and meet her emotional needs when you have your own emotional problems. Because every time she says something, you're only going to be triggered, right? And then you're not going to meet her needs. And eventually she's going to become an angry, resentful bitch that basically makes you feel like nothing you do is right. Okay. So you got to heal from your shit. You got to heal it to feel it, right? Now you're going to be getting triggered every day from shit that's going on in your life. Okay. It's normal, right? So here's how you deal with it. One way to deal with it and release these emotions. And you want to make sure you do this in private. So you can buy one of these, put it in your garage, put it in your backyard, or go to a local gym that has one, right? And that's getting a heavy bag. Okay. And you want to let out all the anger that you have inside, right? And the way that this works is if you're going to, let's say you get triggered at work and you're fucking angry, you're going home in a bad mood. Don't go home like that. Okay. Take your ass out into your garage, take your ass out into the backyard, wherever your heavy bag is, right? And you're going to beat the fuck out of that thing. Okay. For as long as it takes, whether that's 3 minutes or 30 minutes or 30 seconds. And you're going to let out all that anger, all that frustration. Just just let that shit out. You got to release that anger, release those emotions, right? Maybe it's your wife that pissed you off, okay? Let that shit out in private, okay? You never want to show that to your wife, okay? Just so you understand why. This is one of women's most basic needs is to feel safe, okay? If she doesn't feel safe, she doesn't trust you. If she doesn't trust you, you're fucked, okay? So one of her basic needs is to feel safe, and if you show anger to her, you ruin that. Okay, she's not going to open up to you, which means she's not going to get her emotional needs met, which means you're fucked. Your relationship's done. Okay, so don't show anger to your women, right? So go hit your bag, let out all that anger and frustration. Now, what's going to happen is as you're peeling these layers of all these anger and frustration, shit that you got going on, deep down inside there, something may reveal itself. A door may open to an old emotion that you forgot about, right? Maybe that girlfriend that cheated on you 20 years ago, right? An old wound that you have, roll with it. Okay. If there's still some anger from that, or maybe because underneath, just so you guys understand this, underneath all the anger and the frustration is actually hurt, pain from something that's happened to you in your past. That's what's underneath all of that anger and frustration. Okay. So as you peel all these layers of anger out, you're going to open those doors to other things that you may not have known that were there still, right? You think that time just heals. Time doesn't fucking heal. The only thing that heals is releasing, okay? So what's going to happen is you're hitting the bag, right? And then all of a sudden you get this memory and you feel this emotion of like that time that, you know, Mary cheated on you 20 years ago with like your best friend, right? You have a lot of pain you never healed from. Roll with it, okay? If there's some anger there, let it out. Now, when I say roll with it, what I'm saying is it may make you emotional, okay? You may need to cry. Let that shit out, okay? And I know what you're thinking, oh, I'm a man, I don't fucking cry. No. If you don't allow yourself to feel emotions, you're a fucking coward. You got to shift your perspective because the longer that you hold on to that, the longer it's going to fuck your life up, okay? So you got to release that, feel it to heal it. So let it out, right? Just let it out. Start crying. Whatever it is that you feel, let it go. Just release it, right? Just go through the emotions and let it come out. And what you're going to find is as you peel that layer, it may open up a door to a whole nother something else that you completely forgot about, you know? Roll with that one too, right? And this is a daily process that you need to be doing. You need to be doing emotional work every single day so you can show up solid in your life. And what's going to happen is when you do this, you're going to have more peace, more calm. You're going to be more relaxed. When your wife is trying to express herself to you and say something to you, you're going to be able to hear her without reacting, right? And so she's going to get her needs met. You're going to be able to show up more solid. She's going to be happier, right? Which also means you get laid more. Okay. Just an FYI. Okay. So that's one way of releasing your emotions. Okay. Hitting heavy bag. Okay. And then it's the same exact concept behind it, the purpose behind it, which is the next one. And this is something that I still do on a regular fucking basis because as things trigger me or things are going on, or just because I feel like emotions are building up and I just go release it. And that's just the car scream. Okay. And what this basically means is, and this is all boiled around your testosterone, because whenever you have stress and this deep emotional shit, it's affecting your test levels. Okay. Stress kills testosterone. Okay. So we got to fix that. All right. So car scream is exactly that. Okay. Let's say you get triggered at work, right? You're on your way home. Just let it out. Okay. You're driving on the highway. Nobody can hear you. You're in the car by yourself. Like a caveman. No words. Just Just let it out for as long as it'll come out. Okay. Maybe 30 seconds, maybe 30 minutes. Okay. Depending on how much shit you've been suppressing. It's been there all along and it affects every single decision you make. Okay. And when you release all these emotions, your stress levels go, they literally disappear. And now you're actually able to handle normal life stresses like an emotionally healthy person, right? And you're not getting all stressed out over it, which means you ain't ruining your testosterone levels because you're all fucking stressed out, right? So, and that's why it's so important, right? So when it comes to being a man, there's a lot of things that you got to do to take care of you, right? And the more that you take care of you, the more exceptional you become and the better man you show up to everybody that's in your life, whether that's your business, your job, your work, your family, your kids. When you are your most exceptional version of you, you show up for them 100 times better, right? Versus the chump that's showing up fat, broke, tired, lazy, stressed out all the time, and miserable to be around. Okay. Nobody likes that guy. You don't even like that guy. Okay. So fix that shit. Do these 8 things that I just told you and watch your fucking life change. Watch your test levels improve. Watch everything in your life improve. Your income's going to improve. Your marriage is going to improve. Your parenting's going to improve. Everything is going to improve. How you feel about yourself is going to improve. Your confidence is going to improve. Everything about your life is going to improve, but only when you start investing in you. You start taking care of you. Okay. That is the most important element. You want a good ass life. You got to be good ass. You have to master you, right? You want a great life. You got to be great first. Understood? So that's all I got for you guys today. Those were the 8 ways for you to increase your testosterone. So I'm gonna wrap these up and I'm gonna recap it. Actually, is what I meant to say. I'm gonna recap what we went through. Okay. So number 1 is stop eating like an emotional bitch. Okay. Number 2 is get your vitamin D. Remember, up to 69% more just from getting D. Okay. Number 3, get your high protein intake and your high fat intake from your animal sources. Okay. Number 4, lift heavy. Okay. You should be working out every day anyway, but you need to make sure you're lifting heavy every single week. Okay. Number 5, lose body fat. Remember, we want to get rid of those bitch titties so we can stop producing estrogen. Okay. And then number 6, we got get your micronutrients, right? Which is your omega-3s, your vitamin D, which we already discussed, and then your iodine, and then your magnesium, and then your zinc. Okay. And then number 7, sleep, right? And all these other things we just talked about will help you sleep better, remember? And then number 8, deal with your stress. Do regular emotional work. This will change your life. I promise you, this is something that like I said, I just discovered 2 years ago, and it's completely changed my life forever. Okay. And this is why I want to teach you guys this stuff, because I want you guys to learn, these things before you ruin your life like I did. Ruin my marriage, right? Because of my emotional shit, right? So I don't want you guys to get there. I want you guys to deal with your shit now so that way you can show up the right way, and then you can also have badass marriages too. Okay. So that pretty much concludes this episode. So we will see you next time on the Coach D podcast.